The first few years of my life were spent between the Tetons in Idaho and Wyoming and Chico, California. In the past 18 years since we permanently left, I've only visited the Rockies once, 12 years ago, so it's pretty safe to say I don't have a strong connection with the region, except for all the amazing stories my parents have told me. As I've gotten older and started to appreciate many of the outdoor activities that my parents used to describe, I've seen regions in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming appear frequently between social media, adventure films, and the stories of college friends. Longing for the big mountains, we made a plan and packed our bags. With mountain bikes on the car, my parents as experienced tour guides, and myself with much more excitement than I had at 2 years old, we set off to the east. Currently about 3 hours into the drive in Truckee, California, and it's going great so far. Next stop is somewhere in the middle of Nevada, so just charging up the car right now, and it's great to have a bike because we don't usually travel with bikes, but you can literally just hop on a slick bike path like this and go anywhere while you're waiting. So anyway, next stop, Nevada. So we made it to our hotel here in WINNEMUCCA, and I noticed this mountain across from our hotel. So after we get some dinner, we're gonna take our mountain bikes, try and mountain bike up there to see the sunset. So it should be a bit of an adventure, and hopefully we can see some good views. Okay, so we're on a mission. It's currently about 8 o'clock. We just finished dinner. The sun sets in less than half an hour. We're gonna try and make it to the top of a mountain. It's about 2,000 feet vertical climbing, and I don't really even know where the start of the mountain is, so we'll see how this goes. Wish us luck.
7 days a week, the darkest hours. In a magic field, we let it all out, we're well concealed.
Okay, so we got to the bottom of the mountain, so close, but as you can clearly see, we've pretty much lost all light, and we only have one little headlamp that is definitely not enough, so that's too bad. So we made it to Park City last night, and we're staying in this absolutely awesome place, but first things first is a big mountain bike ride to check out the area, so let's go. So we started way the heck down there in Park City, climbed about 3,000 feet. Now we're on top of this mountain here, and over that edge right over there, Salt Lake City.
My grandmother runs much faster than you. She's only got one leg. Make up your mind, don't care if you stay. If you're waiting for something, you gotta get out of the way.
died halfway on the downhill there, but that was an insanely awesome ride. Like, so fun. We ran into someone yesterday who knows this area well, and they said that the mountain bike trails across the interstate from here are really good, so that's where we're going now. This ride was awesome. We started biking straight from our little house and passed underneath I-80 and then came out on the other side near this park. And as we started biking up, we were passing through this desert-like sagebrush, but quickly that turned into scrub oak and chaparral, and then it turned into a big lush green forest filled with aspen trees. Just an amazing change of scenery in such a short distance. Oh, and the downhill was also super fun and long. So we're completely lost hiking our bikes up a big mountain. We just biked about 30 miles and who knows how many thousands of feet up. And we came down a really nice long downhill with no exit. So we're heading back up another mountain that's not marked or on trail forks. We're also completely out of food and almost out of water, so yeah. So basically we were trying to ride this trail that traversed from Deer Valley past Park City all the way back to I-80 called Mid-Mountain. For some reason before the ride we decided to take less water than we had been because we'd been coming back with water left over and had been weighing us down, so we decided to bring a little bit less, which was a terrible mistake because quickly we began to run out. We also brought a little bit less food than we usually did, and all of this contributed to a bigger adventure. So everything on Mid-Mountain was going pretty good until near the end where we ran into a trail that said private property, only residents of a certain area are allowed to use this certain trail. So we didn't even look at the map, we just went down the other trail which led us down this amazing long downhill, but when we got to the bottom there was no exit. We had to climb up a big mountain. Hopefully we're almost back. Our place is right down there in that little subdivision thing. We came from up there and I really hope we're almost done. It looks like it's straight downhill from here, but based on our luck so far, it probably has some uphills. So we made it back, but man, was that more than I was expecting. So today is our last day here in Park City, and we have to be out of this place by 11, but before we go, one more little quick bike ride up the mountain just to get another view.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not buying. Don't get me wrong, I'm not bad as you. I'm looking for you, I'm looking for.
We just finished our last ride to an insanely awesome week, over 100 miles ridden and almost 11,000 vertical feet climbed, so by Park City, it's been real. We made it to POCATELLO here in Idaho, and as you can see by my relatively drastic change in attire, it's a little bit colder here. So we made it to Victor, Idaho last night, and behind me you can see the little house we're staying in. It's super cute, but it snowed in the mountains last night and it's really cold, like low 40s here right now, so we're gonna take the day off of mountain biking because it's a bit too cold for that and go on a hike in the area, so that should be fun. We're on a hike right now up this insanely gorgeous canyon. I've never seen anything like this. It's just so beautiful. All the rain coming down on the leaves, dropping these little droplets, all the flowers. Everything just looks amazing right now. So check this out. Yesterday we explored Grand Teton National Park. And today we're driving about 2.5 hours up to Yellowstone. The sun finally came out today, so we met up with some of my parents' old friends who still live here and went for an awesome muddy mountain bike ride in the area that was as smooth, if not smoother, than Park City Trail. So that was super fun.
Trust me, we got the power to change the world. Need you to trust me. You will get no less than you deserve. Trust me, the thing we got is better than this. Need you to trust me. This town ain't crazy, nobody cares.
My family used to own a house almost directly across from the famous Spud Drive-In movie theater, which is in between Victor and Driggs, Idaho. So we're going there tonight to experience it because I don't remember ever actually experiencing a drive-in movie theater, and I just think that would be a cool experience to have, and just for memory's sake. So we're going to be going there to watch a movie just to have the fun drive-in movie theater experience. The next day, we met up with some more of my parents' friends and hiked 3,000 feet to the top of Taylor Mountain for a gorgeous view of the valley and the Tetons. It's our last day here in Teton Valley, and a lot of people along the trip have told us we need to go mountain biking at Grand Targhee, so that's where we're headed now.
So we're at Grand Targhee, and we're about the only people that are actually climbing up the mountain instead of just taking the chairlift. So we have the trails to ourselves, but it's pretty steep.
From the top of Targhee, we headed down a super engineered and fast trail filled with massive jumps and banks. It was exhilarating, just not my type of mountain biking, clearly.
Fancy shoes and a ton of taboos.
So after a slightly unfulfilling downhill, when we got to the bottom with thunderstorms beginning to loom over us, we decided to venture away from the resort. Some mountain biking trails are smooth, others are beautiful, but it is rare to find a trail so perfect it is quite literally breathtaking. This just happened to be one of those trails. With the Tetons glowing in front of us, a flawless single track weaving between waist-high flowers, and a seemingly endless downhill, the complete Rocky Mountain experience was accomplished.
Wide-eyed as daisy plucked the colors from the meadow. High, low, and silver lining clouds of white and yellow. My heart, won't you care for it? It's not hard, won't you let it in? And so for the county line we left, and sold all our personal effects. And Daisy, she was something else. She saved her heart for someone else. With a smile, she turned to me and said, "You've gotta be tough when there's just too much going on."
A lot of hills were climbed between Nevada, Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming. Here's to the next one.
Wide-eyed as Daisy left the colors by the meadow. High, low, and silver lining clouds of white and yellow.
We're back in Winnemucca for the last day of our road trip, and we're going to be giving the Winnemucca Mountain climb attempt another try. So hopefully we can actually do it this time.
Won't you care for it?
We're pretty close to the top, but yet again, we didn't leave enough time for the light. So we're about this far away, and the sun is now setting. So in order for us to get back before it being completely dark without lights, we need to head down now, unfortunately. But it's still an absolutely gorgeous view of Winnemucca in the Nevada desert.
I've gotta be tough. There's just so much going on. Thought it was love, but I